Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Sonic 2006 and with returning guests here with Gertrude Perkins.
Hello.
And ThornBrain.
We're here to fuck up a beach party.
Yes, destroy everything in our path. So yeah, hard mode for this level. Actually quite interesting. This might be one of the most interesting hard mode videos for this series. Combined with White Acropolis, which was also quite interesting. But this one here is very cool, and it's a great video, and I hope that everybody enjoys it. Hope that I'm not hyping it up too much. But I have to do something, because this first part is just like, wow, there's more enemies. They will never do anything to you, but you can farm a lot of points, so that's nice.
I wonder where this sequence fits in the hierarchy of Star Fox games.
Low. Pretty low.
If they shot
I haven't played a lot of them.
You could even use the enemies themselves to slow yourself down a little.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's like you cannot die here. Like, you would have to try really, really hard. Like, this looks dangerous, but it's just like, whatever. I mean, I took some damage.
Styrofoam.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I love all of the gigantic hunks of rock bouncing around like they're made of rubber.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, sure, Havoc physics, cool, program this everywhere.
Oh, look at that guy!
I'm gonna beat you there.
It's really good. I was always fearing replays of this because, you know, the sequence is a little boring, to be quite honest, but it's all good, it's all fine.
And now it's robot time.
Yeah. One of the best parts of that level as well, just finally letting loose with Omega. And it's not as difficult as these parts are in Dusty Desert.
I love that it's just a punch sound effect.
Yeah. They were just out of programming space for this poor guy. As you can also tell here, hard mode just adds a shitload more enemies. It's just like 3 more waves. Like, there's just another
really
one
does.
spawning here, and it's like not really making it much harder. You get a lot more points. I'm already at 23k.
Nice. I really like how Omega does those little hops when he's grinding.
Yeah, that's great. But that's actually me accelerating. That's if you press the action button, you can do an animation on the rail and accelerate the character.
Oh, I see.
You have to do it in a certain rhythm even, so it's actually kind of deep. And of course the game never explains you that, but speedrunners did to me. So it's like you have to do tap, 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 stop, tap, 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 stop, or is it 2 taps? Something like this. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. There's more to see here, but we're going to see this later. And it's an extra recording just to show a few more parts of the level. Or rather, this is the efficient recording for the whole run, and then we're gonna see outtakes from the first try.
So, we have a sentient machine fighting worms that are bursting from sand, and this might be a pretty faithful adaptation of one of the later Dune novels.
It is, isn't it? That I haven't read those, but I'm just gonna pretend that I know everything about it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I've only seen the films. I know nothing about the greater canon.
Just pretend nerds here all around. Amazing.
I am a fake geek boy, like they warned you about in 2011.
Nice. I just realized that I could probably get up into that cave because I found out rather late that you can just continually ascend if you tap 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 the button for hovering, and also just cheat around, but I didn't know that when I was recording this video. It's just a great time to find that out in the very last recording session. It's also something speedrunners use. I just didn't like ever apply it, but hey, I could do it.
I think the most visually irritating thing about Omega, and you've done this a few times, it's not your fault, occasionally he just shoots it to the ground.
Yeah, it's because his targeting is really bad, and you just have to hope that he picks up on enemy's track. And often it works, but like, say 20% it does not, and it looks terrible when it does not work. Like here, for example, why did it not hit the 2 just right in front of him? I don't know. Also, all of this is completely optional, just killing these enemies because they are there, and to guarantee an S rank just from points alone, but you don't have to do this at all.
Welcome, Omega. It won't take much for me to... Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, you might notice that I was actually thinking last time I recorded this mission that I hit an invisible trigger or something because I advanced too much and thus I cancelled the line, but that's not true. The line cancels itself no matter what you do. It's just bad program. Yeah. Oops.
The timing of Sonic 06 is one of the things that always surprises me, no matter how many times I see footage of this game.
It's absolutely brilliant. And now this is where the really interesting part I promised comes in. Remember I showed off this part in the normal mode where you can drive up here with the buggy and it doesn't do anything? Well, you have to do this in hard mode. And again, proving my point that probably this is the original version of the level and the dumbed down version is the modified, like the normal version is the modified version. Because otherwise this entire part there makes no sense. You're gonna see why it's mandatory in a bit. You have to go up
Such
here.
a limp throw.
Yeah. They're trying their best, okay? And then you go here.
Are they? Are they?
No, they're not. And this switch here is not there in the normal version. The switch that I'm going to activate in a bit once I destroy its guardians is actually inside the cave we can see in the distance in the normal version. In that cave there is nothing here in hard mode. The lowering wall there, that is where the level continues. Not there, behind us, but I'm going to show off the cave regardless, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna.
So, how much of your appreciation for each different hedgehog changed with the transition from normal to hard modes?
So I think that Shadow's levels are definitely improved on average in hard mode. They seem more complete in many ways. And of course I'm getting better and better at the game, so that always helps, especially for a character like Shadow who is relatively basic, but devils in details more or less. So yeah, just again, there's nothing in this cave, but it would be in normal. For Silver, it doesn't really get better, but just having to do almost the same levels again and again, because for him they really couldn't come up with anything new, it feels like. Or rather, when they split the original version of the level into hard and normal versions, sometimes, but I think just basically in Crisis City the levels work slightly better. So when they downshifted it to normal, they screwed something up. But overall, there's just not much else to be done.
Oops.
And there are some rooms where you have to kill more enemies, and killing enemies with Silver just sucks. So definitely worse in hard mode. And for Sonic, it's I think the main reason to play hard mode is that you can use all of the gems from the get-go, so you can treat it as kind of a New Game Plus situation, and that is worthwhile in some ways. Shadow doesn't have that going for him, so it's good that the levels are actually significantly improved. And that's my review. You might notice that the enemies here on the beach did not die off-screen and underground as they did in normal mode. So again, this is the complete and functioning version of this level.
So were they being killed deliberately in normal mode to depower the level?
I don't know if something screwed up completely, or if they just placed them wrong, for example. Or if they just deliberately placed them in the death plane so that you wouldn't have to deal with them. Either way, you just randomly get some chaos crystals, no points, because if you don't kill the enemies, you don't get points for them in normal mode, and this doesn't happen in hard mode.
I do wonder, because I know there's a speedrun tactic to kill Iblis by glitching him under the death plane so he gets deleted.
Yeah, that
I wonder if
actually...
there was an accident or something in normal mode.
It's possible, it's possible. It might also be that it's just the laziest way of making less enemies there. Just like, wee, goodbye.
No.
Just put them slightly a few meters below of what they would usually spawn, and then they are in the kill plane. And it's like, okay, cool, just delete them next time, okay? But then probably it's harder to make the trigger work for when the cage around the spring goes down. So they were just like, we have 5 minutes to fix this level, just whatever, put the enemies further down. That's my theory, at least.
Well, that level was definitely much more interesting than it was the first time.
See, I didn't promise you too much. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff to show off. For example, up here, there are boxes. You can get to the boxes like that, and then you can get 5 whole rings. Amazing, isn't it? I've talked about rewards in ring boxes and what the game considers a worthy detour. And I think it's about a 50-50 chance if you actually get a somewhat worthy reward, because 20 rings, for example, that's a lot, right? That's 200 points right away. That's not nothing. And then if you carry them to the end of the level, that's 2,000 points. It's a lot, right? But 5 rings, right, you are not quite guaranteed to keep them. As like, whatever. And see here, these are 20 rings. And this is like the game considering, okay, you're going out of the way, you're killing these enemies, protecting them more or less. And that's reasonable. But going up there, where you have to double back, just, don't know. Anyway, this is the hole where only Tails has something in his version of the level. This is me discovering, oh yeah, you can just hover forever, right? Yeah, so you can get up here. Easy. There is no invisible trigger, it's timing based.
Huh.
And now you were probably thinking, hey, I mean, at least if you're me, can I not get up there, like, directly? Yep. Oh. You can. I don't know why I paused here, I didn't want to cut it out for fear of breaking something. But I was just like, yeah, it's cool. It just skips the entire buggy part. It's fun. Yeah, I don't mind this
Why
at
would
all.
Why would you want to skip the buggy part?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you're playing this game, you're never skipping the buggy part. Badum dish. But yeah, it's cool. And you remember when, first of all, I was figuring out that you can actually hover with this thing? There's another thing that works in the hard mode. You can actually get out of it. This doesn't work in normal. They just deleted the ability for you to get out of the hover vehicle in normal mode, but it works perfectly fine in hard mode. That's the biggest difference between this level in normal and hard, and one of the biggest differences in all of the levels. It's super subtle, because you normally just wouldn't think of getting out of it anyway, just get to the end. But all of this you can only explore in hard mode, because otherwise you can't get out and you can't get high enough. I tried a lot in normal, but this entire thing is just completely new. We could not see this before, could not experience it. It's also pointless. There's nothing here except for those 20 rings, but hey.
Yeah, it's like in a lot of like collectathon platformers where the devs will put one thing just like on the very edge of the map where you would never go, just because they know someone will go there. Except in this game, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. It's just like, cool. You killed this guy. It's nice, isn't it? You did it. I'm happy that I was able to pull it off. It was fun to figure that out. It's not like I was expecting anything. Like, this is Sonic 06. It's an unfinished game. Like, come on, yeah. But you can absolutely do that. You can get back to the hover vehicle. You can have fun times at the beach. But yeah. Anyway, speaking of really fun times at the beach, be prepared.
Whoa.
Fun times in the beach.
No, Shadow, no!
He's checking the engine.
We have our thumbnail.
Whoop! All good. Engine's fine.
Shadow enjoys engineering.
Thank you. Anyway, you thought this was the funniest moment of the video.
Please just die.
Oh no!
I love this game so much. Thank you for your attention.
That was so good.
C for crash.